Hey all, Kate here from the Emerald Minecart, and welcome back to another review. Curious why it took me so long to say welcome back to another review. That's because this episode of Kamen, that's episode 12, is amazing. I love this episode. This is... Okay, I need to calm down, I need to stay on track. Just need to listen to my pros, cons, and mids. Also, before I continue on, so recently, Toko Shout, or yeah, Shout Factory. Yeah, Shout Factory, which uploads these episodes to YouTube for completely free. Yeah, they started to release them on Sunday instead of them being available to watch as a live stream on Monday. So what I'm going to do is do my reaction to the episode, and have it on my Patreon on uploaded on Sunday. Which go check out my Patreon, and I'll post my review on Monday. So yeah, but yeah. So anyways, the pros, the cons, and mids. Sorry, still have crap in my throat. Okay, first off, the fight scenes. Once again, fight scenes are pretty incredible, especially between the Zeztz and Nox, which, yes, I will talk about this Nox form when I get to it. But yeah, the fight scenes, honestly pretty good, especially between the Zeztz and Nox, especially in this one. Zeztz actually gets his ass handed to them by Nox. So, yeah, they don't always beat the bad guys. So, yeah. Next up are the special effects. I'm very sorry that I did often bring up the special effects in my other reviews. But yeah, besides that, the special effects in this episode, once again, amazing. Especially since one of the scenes when Nox finishes off the monster, that I will bring up later, like when they explode. Okay, so in Tokusatsu shows, when the enemy is defeated, they explode, leaving behind a bunch of fire. This time the fire was white. That's right, white fire. I don't think white fire is scientifically possible, but I do know it's possible through editing software. But like until I saw this episode, I never saw white fire. But now I have, and I'm very happy I've seen it. That shit looks cool. Yeah. Next up, the music, which, yes, the music is actually in prose for once, because besides like the other music of the in the episode being good, the main song that I want to focus on is the song that plays when Nox is finishing off the monster. Because when he puts his sword in gun mode and he's like preparing to like shoot the monster, you hear this epic rock theme in the background. It's just just, I love it. It makes me feel good. And as a Doom fan, I love it. Speaking of Nox, the Knight Nox form, which, no, he isn't called Common Rider Nox, which, I mean, would have been easy, but, I mean, he doesn't really, I mean, I guess he kind of looks like a knight, but, eh. But yeah, anyways, the Night Nox form looks amazing. It's all shiny, and I love it. Actually, a little detail that I noticed. I don't think it was intentional, but like the top half of his helmet kind of looks like Ultron's face. I hope I'm not the only one who sees it. But yeah, his suit is amazing, and how he transforms, like his henshin sequence. His henshin sequence involves him turning invisible, and then he slowly reappears in his rider form. It's just, oh my god, it's so cool. It's so cool. In fact, instead, like when he transforms, instead of saying henshin, he says disguise, or the Japanese translation of disguise, which, if you don't know, henshin means transformation. So yeah, bit neat. But yeah, honestly, I like it. It's cool. Next up is the Knight Invoker, which is his driver. It's white, it's gold, it looks pretty freaking epic, and obviously this isn't the only time we've gotten a white and gold version of the main driver, but hey, it looks cool. That's what matters. Next up is his main capsum, the Erase Capsum, which is this white, slightly gray capsum that, or no, wait, it's this slightly dark capsum that he uses to transform. Honestly, I didn't really pay attention to the little animation it had inside of it, but I will say it looks cool, especially when it was using the finisher. Then, next up is learning the truth of the capsums. Okay, so ever since Nox has appeared, he started saying, "Oh, Kamen Rider Zeztz, you have no idea the true evil of the capsums." Okay, he never said anything said it like that, but he did say something very similar. In this episode, he demonstrates when he knocks out a capsum from Kamen Rider Zetz's hand, and he destroys it with his gun, which releases an evil clone of Kamen Rider Zeztz. So, yeah, apparently, the capsums contain nightmares, probably really powerful nightmares, considering that, Kamen Rider Zeztz can just casually use them for power. So, yeah, so that brings up several questions about the capsums, which maybe might get answered in episode 13. I don't know. Uh, so yeah, speaking of learning things, another thing we learn is that code might be real. Now, if you don't know what code is this organization that at first it's like, oh, Baku, aka Kamen Zetz, made it up in his dreams, but Nux reveals that no, code is real and it's older than you and stuff like that. So that is another mystery that will probably be solved in the next. Okay, maybe not solved, but we'll probably receive an answer in episode 13. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not the writer of the series. Next up, after 12 episodes, Minami finally finds out that her brother Baku is a Kamen Rider. So yeah, we actually got a little teaser of this happening in episode 11 when she goes to his closet and like she almost opens it, but then she just like decides not to. But in this episode, she does that and she finds the switch that like reveals the secret entrance to his secret agent lair, and she's immediately confused. And even when like before we see her enter like Zero, which is Kamara Zetz's motorcycle, like he hears the door open and he thinks, "Oh, Kamara Zetz, you're back." He turns and sees his sister. He's like, "Oh, hmm." Okay, he didn't say it that. He didn't directly say that, but he was essentially like, "Oh, uh, hmm." And right after that, he says, "I guess you need some explaining to do, don't ya?" And she's like, "Immediately." Or, okay, not directly like that, but, you know. But yeah, it took 12 episodes, but hey, Nami finally knows that her brother's a Kamen Rider, and we'll see the aftermath of that in episode 13. Hopefully. And now, finally, we have the mysterious white capsule that appears in two scenes. One where Zero is holding it and is considering to give it to Gav, or not Gav, wrong series, giving it to Zets, and then at the end, before the preview of the next episode. So yeah, at first I thought this was like a Legend Rider capsule. Okay, let me explain. So all Kamen Rider series, well, okay, all Kamen Rider series after the Showa era, they all have a subsection of gimmicks that are all related to the previous writers, and they usually give you or give the writer a form that somewhat resembles said writer. They never appear in the show. They'll really only appear in like specials and stuff. But even then, they rarely appear in specials. But yeah, at first I thought, oh, it's Build. But when I was looking for pictures for this review, I took another look at it. I was like, okay, it's not. Never mind, it's not Kamen Build. It's someone else. But yeah, I'm really only mentioning it now because we're probably not going to get to see Kamen Zats use it for a little bit. Because in the teaser for the next episode, we don't really see him use it. So Maybe we might see it be used in episode 14 or 15 or 16 or somewhere around that. I don't know. But yeah, now my cons and mains. I have no cons and mains. That's just how great this episode was. I absolutely loved it. It was a great debut for Nox's Kamen Rider form. The ending of this episode left me with so many questions like, what's the secret behind the capstones? How long has code been a thing? And how will Minami react to, or how will Minami treat her brother now that she knows that he's a Kamen Rider taking on these dangerous missions? We'll just have to wait until episode 13, which will be next Sunday. So I'm gonna have to wait a bit. I miss it when TV shows made us wait for the next episode. I really do. Anyways, yeah, that was it for this review. I give it 7 out of 7 stars, which means it gets an Emerald Seal approval. So yeah, after leaving this review, so yeah, make sure you all subscribe and like for more, and I'll see you all later. Peace out, home guards, and goodbye!